Whakarongo ki te tangi a te kori mako. Kōrero flowing out the hook of force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā ko nā whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira. Whakarongo pīkarikari mai, Areare mai, o Taringa hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody, gather up close everybody. Kani move that body, kani move that body.
Tēnā rā tātou e te iwi, nau mai hoki mai ki Taringa.
Hoki mai.
Well, Prane Gloin and myself, Te
Hoki
Āitanga.
mai. Ai, tēnā ku te katoa. Welcome back to Taringa for another exciting installment
Of Once Upon a Timer.
I hope you're enjoying Once Upon a Timer. We enjoy doing them, producing them for you. And with that enjoyment comes a lot of learning when we write the stories.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you've got any comments, because we write them ourselves, so they're taken from well-known kōrero. Some of them really aren't that well-known. They might be well-known in a particular iwi, neha, but maybe not in another. So, yeah, we do our best to try and make them informative as well as sound cool. Yeah. Here we have Once Upon a Timer, and it links into another kōrero we've had. Hoi anō, we'll let you listen up. Whakarongo mai.
Once upon a timer, the great chief Tūtāmure rallied his army to seek utu for the killing of his sister Tāneroa, who was murdered at the request of her husband, Tamanoti. Tamanoti had become tired of his wife's incessant complaints about the mediocre diet of fern root that he provided and became irritated by her constant bickering about his lack of industry to gather kai.
Tamanoti, tō mangere marika, you are so lazy. Day to day we only eat fern root. Aruhe. Why can't you get some tuna or ika and grow a mara full of kumara to appease my appetite? Tō kore take marika.
E hika, hiri te tonu tō amuamu. You are always moaning. Kua hoa ka tō ahau, I've had a guts full of you. I'm off.
Oh, hamuti Tamanoti. You think you can just up and leave me? Eki!
Tamanoti fled, leaving Tāneroa, but everywhere he went, she followed. She would not let up. Tamanoti became hateful towards Tāneroa, and at a pā called Takarāroa, south of Turanga, he plotted her death, asking Toho o te rangi to kill her. Of course, word of her murder reached the taokete, his brother-in-law, the chief, Tūtāmure.
Pōko kohua Tamanoti! I will raise my army and I will have revenge for the murder of my sister.
And so, Tūtāmure, along with his much younger half-brother, Tamataipūnoa, gathered a formidable army of 400 warriors, and they set off by foot from Ōpōtiki. They met the naval force of some 200 who went by 5 waka taua at Tūranga Nui Ākiwa.
E te iwi, kia horo ia tātou ngā pā o te rohe nei. Let us lay waste to the fortresses of this region until we find Tamanoti. When my patu is wet with his brains, then I will be satisfied.
The pā of Titirangi at the mouth was the first pā to suffer at the hands of Tūtāmure and his army. Next was Popoia on the Waipawa. Tūtāmure heard that Tamanoti was at Takarāroa, so they marched south of Te Kuri Apawa to Te Paritu, laying waste to Takarāroa, but Tamanoti was not to be found.
Tūtāmure! Many have escaped and are fleeing towards Te Mahia.
Aye, Tamanoti is probably amongst the survivors. They will be heading to the Great Pā, Maunga Kāhia.
Onward the army of Tūtāmure went in hot pursuit of the survivors of Takarāroa. Tūtāmure was right. They were heading to Maunga Kāhia, the pā of his uncle Kahungunu, and his illustrious wife, Rongo mai wahine.
E rongo, hau mai ana te riri. War is upon us.
No way. Who has taken up arms against us and why?
Aua, our whanunga have come from Takarāroa, seeking protection here at Maunga Kāhia. They say a great army is coming this way. We must not let them take the pā. We must protect the last of our children, Tauheikurī.
Tauheikurī was the only child of Kahungunu and Rongomai Wahine who had not been married or betrothed yet. She was named after the Tauhei ceremony of the joining of nets, of which a kuri was the main course at the Hakari. Perhaps one day she would join together her people. Tūtāmure and his army eventually arrived and started their attack on the pā, but Maunga Kāhia was a strong pā, and now, with a combined force of both the inhabitants of the pā and the refugees of Takarāroa, it was proving to be quite a mission for Tūtāmure. However, as the battle progressed, the wind changed, proving a threat if the invading army resorted to fire to burn the defences of Maunga Kāhia. Adding to this, the attackers had already broken through the outer defences and were now set on getting through the last line of palisades. Kahungunu knew he now had to employ a strategy of peace.
E rongo, ko mate taua ki te tuku I tā taua tamahine hei tatau paunamu. Be decked Tauheikurī in the finest cloaks, and dress her hair with the oil and the plume of the huia. May her attire befit her beauty and her lineage. She will be a sight even to Taringa would behold.
Kahungunu climbed one of the stages and shouted at the attackers.
Ko wai te rangatiro o tēnei taua. Who is the leader of this army?
He was answered.
Rangaranga te muri whakarua ka tutu te moana. Ko au, ko Tūtāmure. When the northeast sea breeze blows and the sea rises, it is I, Tūtāmure.
Kahungunu was surprised, as Tūtāmure was his nephew, the son of his first cousin, Haumanga.
E tū, tai hoa e riri. Tēnei te rongo a whare te haere ake nei.
Kahungunu made reference to peace, the peace only a woman could bring about. This, in essence, was a surrender by way of a contract of peace to be sealed by marriage. A victory nonetheless in the times of our tūpuna. Tūtāmure instructed his forces to retire.
E hoki konei, let the tides of war recede. E hoki!
Kahungunu turned to his daughter.
E te tau, ka orato iwi a koe. Your people will live because of you.
Ka mahi a hau I tau e pai ai.
Kahungunu, Rongomai Wahine, their daughter Tauheikurī and a contingent of their followers descended from the pā to meet Tūtāmure. As they walked out, Tūtāmure was surprised to see that the ariki of Maunga Kāhia was his uncle, Kahungunu, and at his side was his bride-to-be, the beautiful and regal Tauheikurī, adorned in all the finery of her iwi. Tauheikurī left the side of her parents and proceeded towards Tūtāmure. However, she instead went to bow before the younger and more handsome Tamataipūnoa, thinking he was Tūtāmure.
Eika, kua he! I'm not your husband-to-be. It is Matuakana, Tūtāmure. He is the rangatira.
Tūtāmure had observed Tauheikurī as she walked towards his teina, Tamataipūnoa, and on seeing the expression of attraction on her face, realised she would be much better suited to wed Tamataipūnoa.
E tama, e pai ana. You may have Tauheikurī as your wife. May you both be blessed with many children and mokopuna. But your home will forever be in these lands now. Never, ever return to a pōtiki, or I will kill you.
The War of Tūtāmure ceased due to the Tataupounamu, the contract of peace instituted by Kahungunu through his daughter. Tauheikurī and Tamataipūnoa became husband and wife and had two sons, Tāwhiwhi and Mahaki. Mahaki, who became a great rangatira and warrior, and the eponymous ancestor of Te Āitanga, ā-Mahaki. So like the Tauhei, the joining of the nets, the union of Tauheikurī and Tamataipūnoa joined together the peoples of Mātātua, Takitimu, Kurahaupo and Horouta.
And that was our kōrero about Te Piringa o Tauheikurī and Tamataipūnoa.
Very good. I'm glad you were listening, Taringa.
Yeah.
What's one learning you took from that story?
One learning I took from that is probably, like, I always knew about Te Taupounamu, but that was a real good example of it.
Yes.
Moi ngā maunga, kia hua ko te rongomau.
Ka pai. Definitely, I think Te Taupounamu and rongo taketake, which is an enduring peace, and the power of te mana o te wahine. I don't look at it as, she was married off. I think she was a woman of mana, Tauheikurī, and that story is one example of Tataupounamu, i roto i te ao Māori, and could be maybe a discussion point on
Later,
Taringa another time, that tikanga of Tataupounamu. But there was all sorts of tikanga in there. There was tuakana teina, utu, and things like that. Hoi anō, koe nā tātātou kōrero i tēnei wiki e te iwi, nei e mihi atu nei. Kiwaha, kiwaha, kiwaha.
Kiwaha o te wiki is kaitoa.
Kaitoa. And kaitoa means good job.
Good job.
Serves you right. Yeah, that's a nice short kiwaha that you can use. And it's probably one that you can, some of our kiwaha can't use really in a English sentence, but I think kaitoa you could because it's an expression, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't listen, kaitoa. Oh, yeah, like, oh man, I'm tired. Oh, kaitoa, you should have went to the gym. Hey, oh, I got a ticket. Oh, kaitoa, you haven't got a license. Or kaitoa, you were speeding. Yeah, say kaitoa, K-A-I-T-O-A. Kaitoa.
And our waiata this week is Toia mai.
Toia mai te waka. Oh, not that one.
No, not that one. Close.
What about...
Toi.
Oh, right.
Mai te waka ne. I think this is like in every iwi, eh?
Yeah.
Same words.
Definitely one of the favourites. And you've got to have the haka piece in there as well.
Yes, definitely.
Hoi anō, e te iwi, whakarongo mai, toia mai.
Toia mai te waka ne, umea mai te waka ne. Ki te tako tōranga e tako toai, tiriti te mana motu, hake te tā, ni a te manu nei, pipi wharaura. Kui, 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 whiti, whiti ora, ui e tai ki e. I te koko mo, i te koko mako, o ta hautapu e rite i te kainga matari ki makia. Papa reirei a koia tapa, papa kononu a koia matukua, hi au e hi. Te tako, tōranga i tako toa. Kata iwi Māori, e muru nei, hi au, au e ha. Hake te tā. Kata iwi Māori, e muru nei, hi au, au e ha. Kotu te ihi kotu te wana wana. Ki runga i te rangi a tui hone, e tahi a kume a hi.
Ka pai e te iwi, that was our waiata, Toia mai. Anei māua e mihi tonu nei ki a koutou, tēnā koutou katoa o koutou taringa. Thank you again for joining us. And you can join us again if you just rewind, you can listen again.
Come back next week for some more.
Hoi anō, e mihi atu ana. Hei kona mai.
Hei kona e te iwi.
Whakarongo pīkarikari, gather up close everybody, buddy. Taringa. Yeah, tahuri mai ki au. Whakarongo ki te tangi a te kori mako. Kōrero flowing at the hook force. Kaupapa relevant, kaupapa out of bounds, kaupapa exigent, kaupapa paramount. Nā kona whakapiri mai ki te kaupapa tino whakahira hira. Whakarongo pīkarikari mai, Areare mai, o Taringa hare mai. We gotta gather up close everybody, gather up close everybody. Kani move that body, kani move that body.
Taringa, he mea tuku nā te wānanga o Aotearoa. To listen to more episodes, search for us on your podcast app and subscribe. Taringa, whakarongo mai.